We're here, everybody. The final episode of Legends of Tomorrow. How did this episode hold up? Let's get talking about it. Hey, everybody, this is David, and I'm going to be talking about Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 16, Legendary. And this episode was really good. I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't think there's too much of the bad and the ugly. I'm usually easily pleased if you've been following a lot of my reviews. Usually if there's anything negative, usually they're just nitpicks for me. But yeah, let's get talking about this. What did I think of this episode? This episode began where last week's episode left off. You know, the heroes go back to the present, and finally what I've been waiting for a while now is for Sarah to find out that her sister, Laurel, had passed away. And that's what she finds out, and it was finally very satisfying to hear, Detective Lance tell Sarah that, yeah, Laurel was killed by Damien Dark in a prison attack. I thought it would have been really cool, though, if they had gone to that time period when Laurel was killed and they saw it from their perspective, and then Sarah would have learned maybe to resist temptation of changing the past. I thought that would have been better suited for like a focus episode on Sarah, so looks like we're not gonna get that, or maybe we will next season. Who knows? Those feelings of revenge can always come back up. I was actually hoping the Legends would stay around in the present for a while, so Sarah could come on Arrow next week and help Oliver take down Damien Dark in their finale. Have a little bit of a Legends Arrow crossover, but it looks like that's not going to happen because I'll get to that a little bit later, why. But other things that happen in this episode, all the other heroes are dealing with being back in the present and realizing, you know what, we got to get back with Rip because Rip left off without them to go find Savage, and they decide, you know what, we're gonna finish this mission once and for all, whether Rip likes it or not. So they bring Rip back because Ray and Dr. Stein, they figure out a way to bring back the ship, the Wave Rider, and they do successfully. And they find out, thanks to Hawkgirl, Shiera, that she is in 1944, back in World War II, and she left a message in the helmet of one of the war veterans that made the helmet made its way on the Wave Rider, I guess, somehow, one time. And that's how they found out. They saw the message because the helmet mysteriously just popped up, and they go and save her. But they realize, look, if we're going to save her, we got to finish this once and for all. And how are we going to finish this? They find out about the comet, the asteroid, the meteor, that they have to go to 3 different time periods because apparently it's connected to Thanagar, which was a really nice connection to Hawkgirl and Hawkman's origins. If you know the comic books, there's a lot of versions of the comics where Hawkgirl and Hawkman are alien creatures or alien beings from the planet Thanagar. So that was a nice little tie into that origin. So they have to split up and go to 3 different time periods, right? So Sarah and Firestorm go to that episode where, the Vandal Savage was trying to sell the missile. Ray and Heatwave, Mick, they go to the 1950s, and Rip, Hawkman, and Hawkgirl, along with, I forgot who was with them, but they went to go stop him in the future, I think in the year 2021. So they're all in 3 different time periods, fighting 3 different savages, trying to destroy these meteors that he's using to, it was going to destroy the world as we know it. Let's just put it that way. And they take him down. Rip looks like he's about to sacrifice himself, but thankfully he doesn't. They succeed at their mission. They kill him once and for all. And then it's all about, whether they want to continue this mission or not with Rip. So they make amends, or they make peace with their present time, and only two of the heroes decide to not continue on this journey, and that's Hawkman and Hawkgirl, Shiera and Carter. They decide to live their lives in the present day because they feel they need a little bit of time. So I was kind of right that Carter would be back, that they would get him back by the end and have them. But I thought they would continue on the journey, but it looks like they're not. So will we see them again on Legends or on Arrow? Or maybe even Supergirl. The interesting thing that I thought was really cool that they introduced the Thanagarian background. The idea that there are aliens in this planet, in this universe. That is kind of good because CW recently got Supergirl to come back to the CW. Now, can they integrate Supergirl somehow into this universe? Because if Thanagar exists in this universe, and maybe Krypton still exists. For all we know, maybe Krypton didn't explode yet in the Arrow Flash universe. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they have to do some sort of Infinity Crisis thing. But I like that it shows that there are aliens also in this universe. That's a little nice stepping stone for maybe Supergirl to cross over somehow, to cross their Earths together somehow. I don't know how they can pull that off. But as for this episode, guys, I gotta say, I was it was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. The action was really cool, especially at the end there. And I like that they had to go through 3 different time periods to stop Savage once and for all. I felt it was a satisfying ending. I'm glad they didn't kill off Rip. I'm kind of sad that Hawkman and Hawkgirl left. I was hoping to see a little bit more of them. If anyone were to leave, if I had to choose somebody to leave, I think Mick should have been the one to leave. I like Mick. I think he's grown into a great character in this show right now. But I don't know. Can Mick continue on without Snart? Leonard Snart, I don't know if that... We're going to have to see how that gets pulled off, but maybe his friendship with Ray now that looks like they're trying to build, maybe that gives us an indication. Maybe he doesn't need Leonard to be his partner, Maybe Ray can be Mick's new partner. So that should be an interesting friendship to develop next season for sure. Finally, we also got a new character at the very end there, right when they're about to leave and continue on their journey. Who do we get? We get this Rex Tyler, who is part of the Justice Society of America. As soon as he said that, I would, what? And then he said his name was Rex Tyler. I'm like, who? So it was kind of funny. I had to search him up, and I found out he's a character named Our Man from the Justice Society of America. So they got that right. The costume looks a little bit similar, except it's not yellow. The costume was very yellow in the comics, but he has the cape, it looks like, in the hoodie. So that was really cool. And I like I said, I don't know too much about Our Man, so I can't really put my input on that. But the fact that he's from the Justice Society of America is actually, and they managed to say that on this show, that's actually something interesting, because that makes me wonder, will we see other Justice of Society members popping up on this show? That should be pretty sweet, actually, if we do. And why doesn't he want them to go on this journey? Can we trust this guy? I don't know. So next season is definitely, they already have something really interesting set up for next season, and I'm curious to see where they take it, especially since they're continuing on with the time travel thing, most likely. It will be great. I can't wait for next season. So now the question comes to, what did I think of this season overall? I'm going to admit, I feel that this season started off on a slow pace in the beginning, but I felt by the time episode 5, 6 came, especially by the time when we saw Old Man Oliver, Green Arrow in the future, I thought that was really the episode where, okay, things are starting to go places where I want to see this show go. And then the characters started to get more interesting, specifically after that episode where Ray, Shiera, and Sarah were trapped in, I think it was the 70s. That's where I really thought the characters were getting more interesting by that point, and you can tell they were starting to get into their groove. What type of friendships these characters were developing, and I really enjoyed that. The special effects on this show is really great a lot of the times. I was really impressed, almost like pretty much Flash level. Flash season 1, season 2 of The Flash had really good special effects as well. So it was really like up to there. It's like the CW shows that, hey, look, we might not have Game of Thrones type special effects, but we're gonna impress you guys with some of the things we can do, and they knocked it out of the park a lot of the times. I think this episode they did pretty well with the special effects as well. The characters themselves have been really enjoyable characters, like I said, especially as you give them time to develop. It was really nice seeing those friendships blossom a lot, and seeing how some of them that you thought were going to go one way, like Mick. In the beginning, especially when Mick started like rebelling against his team, I thought, I'm glad he's dead, or they made us think that he was dead. But then when he came back, it's like they fixed him, and they made him this much more interesting character. Him turning into Kronos turned him into a more interesting character, which is what I like. Even Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, he sacrificed himself to save the team, and that was a really notable thing. And I'm glad we got to see him in the finale here too. It wouldn't feel the same if he didn't. And from what I heard, he will be showing up again in Legends of Tomorrow as well as The Flash. He'll be going back and forth. How is this happening? Why is this happening? Considering that he's dead, that's going to be some of the interesting stuff that I'm curious to see why. Will they change the past that maybe Cole doesn't go on the adventure with them? I don't know, but I am very happy with this show. I'm glad it's getting a second season. I'm glad we're going to explore more with these characters, with some new ones as well. And I can't wait for season 2, guys. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me or not? Tell me your thoughts below. I want to know what other fans are thinking about this show. For me personally, I can't wait for next season, and I guess I'm ending it here, or else I'll just be repeating myself. This is a really good season finale. Not the best season finale of all time. I've seen other shows with better season finales, but this one was a really good one. I mean, it was really enjoyable and satisfying. And if it ended here without that ending, with it where Our Man shows up, I would have been completely satisfied if that's how the show ended, with them going on multiple adventures, and we don't know what kind of adventures they would go on. But yeah, I would have been happy. But I'm glad they're coming back for a second season. I'm glad they gave us a little tease of what's to come, and I'm looking forward to more. So subscribe to my channel, guys, because I talk about Arrow, The Flash, and of course Legends of Tomorrow, and I'll most likely continue this on for season 2 because I had a great time talking about season 1. And you can go back and check out all my reviews. I'll put it in the description box below for Legends of Tomorrow, as well as Arrow and Flash and other TV shows. And like this video if you liked what I just said. And check out my podcast, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and until next time, guys, take care.